Hey, what's up, MLB fans out there around the world? The one and only Mark Spencer's back again. MLB Trade Rumors is here. It looks like the big deal of the big deal of the big deal has been consummated less than 2 hours ago. Ichiro Suzuki, Ichiro, the superstar from Seattle, has been moved to the pinstripes. Actually, the two teams will be playing tonight in a three-game series between the Seattle Mariners and the New York Yankees. So, very surprised that Mariners would trade Ichiro, but there was some talk last week that Ichiro was kind of getting frustrated in Seattle and kind of wanted to get out of that team and maybe go to a team that's going to try to win it all. And I think this is a very good move by the Yankees. I mean, Nick Swisher recently just got hurt. Looks like he'll be out for at least 2 weeks. Um, Brett Gardner's done for the year after having elbow surgery. And Andrew Jones and Raul Bañez hasn't really worked out in left field. So Ichiro is one of the better defenders in all of Major League Baseball. So they'll probably throw him out in left field and see what happens. He'll probably go to right field and they'll probably throw someone else in the left. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think this is a positive move for the New York Yankees. This is going to very help them out, try to win the division. It's not going to be easy. I don't know if they will win the division, but you never know. I mean, they're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. They've had a very, very good year. But after getting swept by the Oakland Athletics 4 games straight, you had to do something. So, I mean, with the injuries, pitching's not been doing great of late. They had to do something, and the Yankees did. They went and got one of baseball's biggest stars from Japan, Ichiro. So, Ichiro's still got that can of an arm. He can still run. He's just not the same Ichiro of old. But I was just watching John Kruk and at ESPN just talk about Ichiro's not the same player he once used to be. But you know what? That's what happens. Ichiro can still get it done. He still has the hunger. He still has the belief of playing Major League Baseball. He still got it. He still loves the game, and I feel that this is going to be a great move for the Seattle Mariners. They're getting two good young minor leaguers. Good young pitching, out of the Yankees farm system. So we'll see what happens. That's what Mariners need. They need all the pitching they can get because they play in a pitcher's ballpark, not a hitter's ballpark. So, and then they got some good young talent coming up through the ranks. So this is a good move for Seattle. In the offseason, they might re-sign Ichiro. We'll see. But I don't know. I think Ichiro is going to try the Yankees and see how it goes. That's all I got on that trade. And there's actually some talk here that there might be another deal that might be consummated. It looks like Ryan Dempster, could be on the verge of being moved to none other than the Atlanta Braves for a young prospect by the name of Randall Delgado. Randall is a good player, but he's given up a few home runs. He has a wicked arm. Pretty good ERA this year, 4.2. Yeah, 4.42 ERA. He's had a few strikeouts. He's thrown over 91 innings. He's one of the Braves' best pitching prospects. And according to Ken Rosenthal, they are very close. It says here, Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports suggests that the clubs could have an agreement, near an agreement, convincing Dempster to accept the trade may be the final obstacle. So I think Demi might accept the trade. He's going to go to an awesome rotation. Will the Braves re-sign Dempster at the end of the year? It's highly unlikely. I think this is a rental pickup, and I think this is a good move for the Atlanta Braves. They need to win their division. The Phillies are starting to get it going. The Mets are starting to fall back a little bit, but they're looking to get some pitching. The Nationals are just awesome right now. They're on top of they're right there with the Braves. I think they're a game back of the Braves in terms of the division. They got good pitching with Strasburg, and there's talk they're going to try to bring in another arm. So we'll see what happens, man. This team, the Nationals, have really surprised a lot of people in baseball. Same thing with another team from Maryland, the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore is another team that has really surprised me, and they played very, very good. And there was another deal that was consummated today. Recently, the Tigers recently acquired Omar Fonte and Anibal Sanchez for a pair of prospects for Jacob Turner, a big-time prospect in the Detroit Tigers farm system. I mean, Anibal Sanchez pitched very good for the Miami Marlins this year, and so was Omar Infante. He's another one of those infielders that they have, spare infielders, basically utility guys. Can play numerous positions in the infield, second base, shortstop, and maybe third. He's a very good pickup for the Tigers. They need all the pitching they can get, and they need all the infielders they can get. So just in case of injuries, this is a very positive move. Actually, I watched the game last night. I saw some highlights of them winning the game against the White Sox. Their bats came to life. They really executed. They're really playing the way they should be playing. They've had some injury problems with their pitching. Doug Fister, a few other pitchers on their team that haven't performed good. Justin Verlander, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think the best pitcher in baseball. Max Scherzer hasn't pitched very, very good. But this is a positive move. This is a good move for the Detroit Tiger franchise, and I think this is going to really help them. We'll see, try to win the division. I mean, the White Sox are right there with them. The Cleveland Indians are trailing them. They're coming hard. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it comes down to it. It's pitching, pitching, pitching. All about pitching. And if you're going to win in this game, it's pitching. And so we'll see what happens. Cleveland, I don't know if they're going to get another bat, but, there's a guy that is a free agent right now that could really help this team. Is Manny Ramirez. He could help Tampa. He could help the Cleveland Indians. But I hear Cleveland are definitely in on James Shields. I was watching something with Ken Rosenthal recently on YouTube, and he's saying there's talk that Cleveland definitely are in talks with the Tampa Bay Rays about maybe acquiring James Shields. So we'll see what happens. I can't see Tampa trading James Shields, but you never know. Money is an issue in Tampa. They don't have the funds that Cleveland have right now. The fans are starting to come back into Progressive Field, the old Jake, and this is a really competitive team. I mean, led by Johnny Damon and a few other great young pitchers and veteran pitchers like Justin Masterson and Derek Lowe. I mean, have come aboard and really have given this team hope and belief that they can make a difference. And you look at San Diego recently, this weekend, yesterday, they actually re-signed Carlos Quentin. There was talk that Carlos Quentin could be moved. And there were some teams out there that were trying to acquire him, like the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, even the Yankees were trying to acquire Carlos Quentin. But I'm very proud for this small market team to get new ownership and to re-sign Carlos Quentin. There's still talk that Houston Street could be moved, but I honestly think it's a 2% chance. Let's say 50-50 chance that Houston Street gets traded by the trade deadline. There's still talk of Justin Upton getting moved. The Red Sox are probably in on that. The Yankees recently just did their deal, so they probably won't be on Justin Upton. The Blue Jays might be in on Justin Upton. It's going to take a lot of prospects, a player off their team. I don't know if they really want to do another deal, because they recently just did a 10-player deal with the Houston Astros when they flipped Francisco Cordero and a few other players to the Houston team, Ben Francisco for J.A. Happ, Brandon Lyon, and young, I think Carpenter. Was it James Carpenter or David? Or actually David Carpenter. So I think in the end, both teams have done amazing moves, and we'll see what happens. So long, everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Mark Spencer from MLB Trade Rumors on this day, Monday, July 23rd. Trade deadline is less than a week away, but I can't wait. The special's coming. It'll be a 2-part series